And thank you, Paul, for the introduction. You've done me, I'm humbled by what you said. And yes, we are very proud of the International Humanitarian City. Looking back at today, we've heard about innovation being deployed through Airbus to look at the factory of the future. We looked at innovation on how to preserve the holy site of Mecca, and how innovation also drove an entire new ecosystem in India. Right now, we will talk about innovation and how it will drive hope. This is what we do at the International Humanitarian City. We take Dubai's attitude, we raise the bar to inspire the affected families due to humanitarian crisis and those who try to help them. So we'll go briefly to discuss a few facts. Everyone hears the old saying, the world is flat, the world is connected, correct? We all use it, but we all use it in very positive terms. In other words, we talk about how we can do business from anywhere else in the world, how we're all connected, how we can speak to each other via Skype, we can see each other, we can talk to our families and colleagues through technology. But rightfully so, and equally so, we are connected in terms of we are not immune to crisis and its aftermath and the over-influx of what it results and what it causes, no matter how far it is around the world. So we have to be ready, and we have to collectively continue to raise the bar to help mitigate, be ready, and respond to crises. Shall we be concerned? I think we should. Around 60 million people around the world, some of displaced, can't find food, children dying. More than 1 million children die a year because of difficult circumstances. There are bad numbers out there that we have to worry about and to ensure that we bring them down. Not only the affected families are suffering, but also the ones that are trying to help them. They're affected by these circumstances wherever they go. They suffer kidnapping. Some of them lose their lives in the field, etc. Again, a gloomy fact. The photo of a smiling child touches our heart every time we see these pictures. In the newspaper, online, on TV, true. But don't we really wake up the next day and continue our lives? Most probably, yes. Does it really help us reflect on our commitments? It should. And that's what we try to do at IHC. We try to create a culture within the community of our international members so that everyone reflects on their commitments to overcome the many challenges that the humanitarian sector presents, like sustainability, security, integration, risk management, equality, etc. And not by coincidence, I come from Syria. How many of you hear about Syria in the news today? Almost all of you. It's a tragedy. It's a terrible fact. I've been all over the world. I've left the Soviet Union just a month before the collapse in 1991. I've seen my country in 2006 after I returned from the States. It was at its best. And I left it in 2012 when I saw it at its worst. So do we really, all of us, have a responsibility to do something about the world so it being flat would contribute to our lives and to ensure that positivity continues? I think we do. However, not the old-fashioned way. If you look at this graph, 2005 to 2014, 9 years of work. The humanitarian needs increased, and funding to respond and mitigate these needs also has increased. What is the result? Negative. The trend is negative. So we have to change the way we respond to crises. We have to do something about the way we handle humanitarian tragedy. The theory talks about public-private partnership, employing innovation, etc. Mainly, our achievements must be measured by the lowest cost and the lowest effort, so we can touch on as many lives as possible within our resources. And that's where this beautiful picture comes in, Dubai. The city that continues to prove that the impossible is actually possible. The city that created global brands such as the Emirates Airlines, Emaar Properties that built Burj Khalifa, Dubai Port World, the largest port manager around the world, Each and every one of these 3 projects, and they are few of many, have been challenged by the traditional consulting assessment feasibility studies, that they will not work. Too much investment, no way the return will come. Do we prove them wrong? Yes, we do. Global brands, young yet leading industries in the world. With that spirit, I reflect on His Highness Sheikh Zayed, peace be upon his soul, when he tasked everyone in this country and he said that the rich has to give to the poor. And the president of the UAE, Sheikh Khalifa, he also said that the wealth has to be deployed for the benefit of the people. And the leader of Dubai every day reminds us that we have to give through deeds and projects, not words and speech. With that, the International Humanitarian City, 12 years old project, today is the largest humanitarian hub in the world. 52,000 square meters of warehousing, the size of 4 football fields for those who like American football or soccer. And this is just the mini version of us. Those of you who know Dubai South, the new establishment where Dubai Expo will take place, we have 1 million square meters of expansion to come in that area. So this city, Dubai, and the UAE is investing in the humanitarian field. We host more than 60 international agencies, including the UN, the IFRC, etc. And we take pride in bridging humanity by acting as the enabler. By the way, we are a part of the Dubai government with an international mandate. Our job is to ensure that we introduce a new way of government intervention that is not only on donation basis or on regulatory basis. We act as an enabler. We enable all the partners in the humanitarian space, the private sector, the non-governmental sector, the international agencies, etc. How do we do so? Well, I won't talk about how do we do it. I'll talk about how we broke world records every time we were called to action. Last year, more than $200 million worth of aid was dispatched out of the International Humanitarian City. In those 4 examples, we've broken world records, which is to arrive to the crisis site within 73 hours. We arrived to Gaza within 36 hours, delivering aid to 260,000 people. We also deployed aid to Vanuatu in Cyclone Pam, the Pacific Ocean. Our aid arrived within 24 hours from the crisis announcement. And that's with a stop in Malaysia and another stop in Australia, in Brisbane. In Nepal, the recent earthquake, everyone heard about the tragedy, huge traffic congestion at the airport. The airport could not take large aircrafts, etc. However, we still managed to get 3 aircraft to get there quickly. And lastly, the Huda storm last winter, the aid arrived 12 hours before the storm. Not really talking about the value here or how great we are and how fast we are, but I'm trying to tell you that the spirit that Dubai has really doesn't see any of this as enough. This is old news to us. We don't talk about success stories. We talk about what the future is calling on us. And that's why in 2015, this January, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum launched a strategy, 6 years, 4 pillars, 13 initiatives that focus on innovation, focus on connecting the humanity, leading and partnering humanity. Simply put, I'll share with you a couple of milestones. We'll be launching the largest humanitarian forum every 2 years, starting next year, to highlight champions, success stories, to raise the bar on how we hold dialogue on humanitarian affairs. Those who are interested in the humanitarian world would have heard about the World Humanitarian Summit that the UN is holding in May next year in Istanbul. This is a single event that the UN is trying to reformulate the humanitarian sector through. We come with the forum to ensure that there's a stepping stone every 2 years for all the international agencies, the governments and the private sector, and those who are trying to deploy technology for the goods and services that they produce, and also who are making money in the process. For instance, our approach with the private sector is not based on charity, is not based on donations. We don't go after the private sector for money. We go after what they do best. We help them make money. We help them get into markets they cannot get into. We help them mitigate crises in the markets where they could face shutdowns by utilizing what they do best, their goods and services. So we talk about sustainable and smart partnerships, low cost, high impact. I have many examples to share with you, but I believe that you guys are tired. However, you can always reach out after the session, and you can always also find our information online. Now, does it stop here? Absolutely not. This is just the start. Dubai has the spirit of innovation, and again, our job every day is to raise the bar to inspire those who are affected and who are trying to help. Thank you.
Thank you.